Hello, this is Smoking Joe Gamer on Twitch.tv and YouTube.com. And I also have a profile on Mastodon that you can follow. Smoking Joe Gamer at mastodon.social. And this is my second attempt to stream tonight. I apologize to anyone who tuned into the first one and saw it cut off. The computer decided to restart a couple times, and then I had to install a bunch of Windows updates and some other shit. So, if it fucks up again, then I'm just going to have to try again tomorrow. And I'm going to have to open the computer and do some actual work on it. But hopefully this won't shut off again. So, this is the final episode of JRPG July. And I thought I can't finish out the month without playing at least one FromSoft title, can I? And I've streamed Dark Souls 1 and 2 plenty of times in the past. I've done Elden Ring in the past, so I thought, sure, let's go ahead and just do some Dark Souls 3. It's my least favorite of the trilogy. It's difficult, but not a bad game. So I recently had a conversation with one of my cousins. He was saying how he was not able to defeat the first boss of the game. And I thought maybe there's other people in that boat too, and maybe I can just do a basic tutorial, show you how to cheese him if you're really having trouble. So, alright, but I'm also kind of going to explain things too, just for people who aren't familiar with the game. Alright. I'm just going to load that one in. That's cool looking, right? Okay. So the thing is, because it's the third Dark Souls game, and because they also did Demon Souls and Bloodborne before this, they kind of just assume that you know things, you know? Like, they assume you understand how the stats work and encumbrance and stuff like that. And maybe you don't. And that first boss can be very difficult because you can't level up until after you beat him. So you have to be able to beat him with whatever starting equipment you have, and maybe you just don't understand how all this stuff works, and it's complicated. So, basically, if you're new to the game or just struggling with that first boss, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you probably don't want to pick Knight, Mercenary, or Warrior, because that first boss, you can't really block his attacks. He's going to get through your block, and I don't think any of these shields have 100% physical reduction. Maybe this guy. But the Knight has heavy armor, which reduces damage, but it also puts him in lower encumbrance, so it's harder to dodge things, right? This first boss, you're going to want to dodge, you're going to want to keep your distance. So, while these are good starter classes, you know, they may not do so well against that first boss if you're not really good at the game yet. The Herald is like a fighter cleric, so a better starting choice than the cleric, because he does start with a healing spell and just better gear. Again, not a bad starting class, but you don't get any really good offensive faith spells until much later in the game. So now Thief has light armor, good at dodging, has a buckler that's you can't really block with. So this Thief is a pretty good starting class if you're good at parrying, and I'm not, and most people are not. So I wouldn't, you know, mess around with that too much. Hang on one second. There we go. And I want it to zoom in a little bit. Okay, good. So, you can see that the Thief starts with a bow and some arrows. The problem is if you use all the arrows and die, then no more arrows. So, Thief is definitely good at dodging, and I think that bandit knife might do bleed damage, but yeah, you're not going to want to, probably not going to want to do him. Now, Assassin is like a sorcerer thief, so again, a shield that's good for parrying and not much else, but he doesn't start with a damage spell. So again, this is a good build if you want to do like a thief sorcerer type build, but as a starting build, no. Now, Sorcerer, good news is he's got 2 ranged spells that he can use. Bad news is crappy stats, crappy armor. You know, he's very fragile. Definitely a glass cannon. So maybe not a good choice for the first boss, unless you can really keep your distance and just not get hit. Now, Cleric has okay starting gear, I guess. Stats aren't terrible. But, you know, you don't learn any really good miracles until later in the game. So, he's got an extra... Like, the Herald and the Cleric do have that extra healing spell if you run out of Estus Flask, but good luck getting that spell off without getting hit. And then Deprived, you do not want to play Deprived if you're a new player. As you can see, balanced stats so you can pretty much turn them into anything else, but horrible, horrible starting equipment. Which leaves us with Pyromancer, which I believe to be the best starting class in 1 and 3. They took it out of 2. Nobody knows why. But in this game, they did try to balance it out a little more by creating intelligence and faith requirements for pyromancy spells. But, you know, his starting stats aren't terrible. His starting gear isn't so bad, and he starts with a fireball, and his ring boosts his fireball spells as well. So this is what we're going to go with. This is, you know, kind of a tutorial just to show you how to cheese that first boss if you're having trouble. Now, this is another thing where you're not going to know what most of these items are. I mean, Life Ring is never a bad choice because you do get a 10% boost to your health, which may not make that much of a difference, though, in this first fight. So, Divine Blessing is just basically an extra healing item. This is an extra item to give you FP, which sure could be helpful if you're a Sorcerer or Pyromancer and you want to make sure you don't run out of mana during that first fight. But again, these are one-time use items. Fire Gem isn't a bad choice once you get to the first area, or I mean, sorry, the first merchant, the blacksmith. You can upgrade a weapon to, you know, fire, but may not want to do that yet. The Sovereignless Soul you can use to get souls which act as XP and currency. It's a one-time use, but it's not going to do anything for you till after you beat that first boss. And these 3 items, I wouldn't take any of these because you can find plenty of them throughout the game. So we're going to go with Black Firebomb. This is just going to give you that little bit of extra firepower to hopefully get you past this boss. So, there's what we're doing. Pyromancer is starting class. Black Firebomb is the starting bonus. And to anybody interested, I do have in the upper left corner just you can see what the GPU and memory are doing. This game uses up a lot of VRAM, which is probably why I didn't get really good performance on my old AMD card from years ago. I dropped it down to 1440p because I thought maybe it was like overheating or something. Maybe it just couldn't handle 4K, so... And as you can see, it is running at 60 FPS. It's DirectX 11. In my experience, DirectX 12 games tend to run better, especially on newer hardware that actually supports them, but... whatever. So... And hopefully my computer won't restart again. If it does, I'm just going to have to try again tomorrow. Okay, so Estus Flask gives you health back. Ashen Estus Flask gets you FP. FP is what you use for weapon techniques and spells. And then here's my Black Firebomb. You only get 5, so don't waste them. When we get to that first boss, what you want to do is try to just use as many fireballs as you can. And then save the Black Firebombs for if he survives. You don't want to just waste all your Black Firebombs on your first attempt. And I accidentally pressed the wrong button, but it didn't matter because I didn't get hit. So, you know, see how these guys go down in one hit from my axe? That's part of what makes this a good starting class, is you do get a decent weapon. You know, it's got a good balance of damage and speed and all that. So before I go that way, there is something you can do over here. You might have wandered over this way and then regretted it. Well, the dude over here is probably harder to kill than the first boss. And you can always come back later. But see how there's an item over there? Well, I'm just going to do this. Hopefully he won't kill me, but I'm going to run over here and try to grab this. Yeah. So, I'm going to strongly suggest that you not try to fight this guy yet. But as you can see, it's not that hard to just run in there, grab that item, and leave. And that's a useful item, because once we gain the ability to level up, that'll help us get a extra stat point right there. Now, the only downside to Pyromancer is that his starting level is 8, so right off the bat you do need to get more XP to level up. And then if you do decide to respec, then, you know, you don't really have as much flexibility, is what I'm saying. Deprived gives you the most flexibility, but it's also the most difficult starting build, and you probably won't be able to take out this boss unless you're really good at the game. So here's our first bonfire where we can rest. We can't level up yet, and we can't reallocate the Estus flasks. So we can't do anything there yet, but that's okay. Okay, and that is accessible, but what is jump mapped to right now? Okay. You can only jump while running, and you have to press the left stick. That's what it is by default. So let's see if we can do this. See? Missed. And sometimes they roll after they land. Now you can also, if you press attack while falling, you can do a falling attack, which is very useful. See how I still took damage from blocking that? It's because this shield, see where it says guard absorption? Physical is only 52%, fire is only 46%. That's why I still took a little damage from that guy. But I mean, it was a fire arrow, so probably only did fire damage. Okay. Now the good news is that after you beat the first boss, you could always come back here to do some quick farming. Get some easy enemies, if that's your thing. And these games do facilitate that. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, you get... Okay, I had no idea that... I totally forgot that you got firebombs right there, so maybe the black firebomb was a waste. But now, like, honestly, if you can keep your distance and just keep whacking them with fireballs and firebombs, or if you pick Sorcerer and use their spells, or even if you pick Rogue. I guess if you pick the Thief, you could use all the firebombs first and then start shooting with arrows. But using arrows leaves you wide open, so... There we go. And I am playing in offline mode, but even in online mode, you unfortunately cannot summon any help for this boss fight, no matter what you do. So, this guy would be a piece of cake if you could level up first and summon an NPC. The second boss is also difficult, but also easier, because by that time you've leveled up a few times and gotten some... You can recruit help for that fight. So, we want to get into this fight with as much health as possible, of course. So, I'm just going to go around this way, so I don't pull aggro from all these guys. And I got some stuttering. No idea why that just happened. Hopefully the computer doesn't shut off again. We'll see. Okay. Oh, and one of the first things you want to do if you pick any spellcaster build, my advice, put your catalyst into that hand so you can still block while trying to cast spells, see? I don't know why they put it in the offhand, it's fucking stupid. Okay. So when you go to remove the sword, he wakes up, and you can get a couple free hits in. Alright. So that, see, I just hit him 5 times. See, but see how much damage that does, though? If you can actually hit him, right? But see what happened when I tried to block? He just hit right through it. Yeah, and he might kill me anyway, so... Well, see, you know, don't do that. See, that's why you don't want to use all your fire bombs right off the bat, because you never know if you're gonna like walk off the edge or not. So, here I am trying to show you, oh, here's how you play the game, and I'm fucking up. So, just goes to show you how tough this game is. I've beaten it probably 5 or 6 times. I got the Platinum Trophy on PS4, and I still absolutely get my ass handed to me. I Platinum Dark Souls 1, I Platinum Elden Ring. This game still kicks my ass. But see, now it's harder. See, the problem is, the worst thing about this boss is that if you fail the first time, then it gets harder because now you don't get those free hits at the start of the fight. And you can actually get his armor set later in the game, which is nice. But see how much damage that does, though? If you can actually fucking hit him. So, you know, maintain your distance. So try to keep your distance. Try to just keep pelting them with fireballs. And there it is. That's how you cheese the first boss. You keep throwing fireballs at him and maintain your distance. And look at that, I didn't even need the black firebombs or regular. So, if you wanted to go with a different starting class, you could probably still pick black firebomb as your starting gift, and hitting him with 10 firebombs should kill him. Maybe that's something else I can test at some point. But then again, like I said, if you use all your firebombs in the first fight and he kills you, then you got nothing for the second fight and you don't get those free hits at the start. So, this is my suggestion to you is, if you're really struggling, Pyromancer is probably your best starting class. Just keep throwing fireballs at them. And remember, too, in this game, unlike the first 2 games, you have the FP bar. It's mana, basically. But in the other 2 games, you only had a limited number of uses for each spell between rests. So it's like, basically when you respawn, you get all your mana back, and you can cast the same number of spells. And always make sure you pick up your stuff before dying it. So now here's another thing. This is kind of a dick move, too. They give you 3,000 souls for beating them, but if you die twice, you know what I mean? Like, you could permanently lose them before you get to the spot where you can actually use them. So that's my advice. On the first attempt to fight him, after you pull the sword out, you can get a couple of free hits in. Don't drop off the edge. Don't waste arrows or firebombs during early attempts when you're not really sure what his attack pattern is yet. And pick up every item you can. The Homeward Bone will let you instantly travel back to the last visited bonfire, which is good. Like, let's say you're low on health, you have a lot of souls, you don't know where the next checkpoint is, just go back to the previous one. You know, don't lose your stuff. So. That's fine. Yeah, let's look. Now you get some really nice scenery here. The game looks great in 4K, but I'm not sure if 4K was causing it to, the computer to crash, so I just dropped it down to be safe. Oh, he just dropped a Sacred Cleric's Chime. I believe that's a rare drop. And Pyromancer starts with... Notice how he starts with a 14 in Intelligence and Faith. That's another reason Pyromancer is a good starting class, is because you can start learning sorceries and miracles right off the bat. You're not restricted to just Pyromancy. Whereas if you play Sorcerer, his stats aren't good enough to cast miracles. And if you pick Cleric, his stats aren't good enough for sorceries. So, okay. So here we are. That was the first boss. That's how you cheese him. And that sword that you pull out of him, you've got to put in here to activate the shrine. How cool is that? Now, if you do pick the orange or fire gem as your starting bonus, this blacksmith here can imbue a weapon with fire.
Well,
again, it would not have helped against that first boss, though. So, when you go to infuse weapon, if you've got the right gem, so if you have a fire gem, right off the bat, you can enhance one of your weapons. But, you also have to pay attention to parameter bonuses. So right now, I get extra damage from strength and dexterity. If I imbue it with fire, then you do a mix of physical and fire damage, but you lose the parameter bonuses, so keep that in mind. And that shield sucks, but... Alright. Wait, does he sell anything? Yeah, and I can't reinforce because I only have one Titanite shard. He can also help you allot your Estus Flask, but I'm okay with 3 and 1 because I'm a spellcaster. If you're not a spellcaster, though, you may want to just put all your Estus into the orange one. Okay. So you talk to this lady here, and she's insane, but she sells some useful items. So like I said, this class can totally learn Soul Arrow right off the bat. So it's like, well, why the fuck not? I'm just gonna go ahead and do that, because why the fuck not? And then you can buy a whole bunch of fire bombs, so, you know, that's good to know as well. And then the white science, yeah, you're going to want to buy that if you want to play co-op, but playing co-op leaves you open to invasion, so just be mindful of that. And PvP sucks in these games. I don't care who disagrees. PvP sucks in FromSoft games. And you should be able to play co-op without being forced into PvP. Alright. So.
Welcome to the I tell the law to this.
Yeah.
Very well. Then
so I should have enough for 2 stat points. So I'm gonna do attunement because that gives me a little bit of extra FP for spellcasting. So in this game, if you keep putting points in attunement, you'll just keep getting more and more FP, so you can keep casting more spells without running out. But see how it's giving me that extra attunement slot. So.
Farewell, I've made the flip.
So that's fine. So yeah, this dropped off of an enemy, which surprised me. So I'm gonna go ahead and just equip that. And the healing spell here. Seemed like a good idea, right? Right. Oh.
Ah.
But I will also purchase this so that I can cast that magic arrow spell that I got. So that's how I chose to invest my points. You know, if you find that you're getting hit a lot and dying a lot, you may want to invest the points into Vigor. If you want to wear heavy armor without going into heavy encumbrance, you know, you still want to be able to dodge stuff, then you're going to want to put points in I think it's either endurance or vitality will boost your equipment load, which you definitely want. So, all right. Oh, and this dude, blah 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 blah.
Don't you?
Yeah. So see how he's rolling like that? I'm in medium encumbrance right now. I'm at you have to want to stay under 70% equipment load. So in this game, it doesn't show a percentage. How about that? But yeah, under 70% puts you in the middle, and that's what you want. If you take off all your armor, you will move and dodge a little bit faster, but if you get hit, you're screwed. And now I'm getting some stuttering. I don't know what's causing it.
All that unkindled. Look if
I think my computer's just mad at me today. I don't know.
Now.
And that dude is evil, but he was considered powerful, so they let him in. Alright. So now I'm going to show you a couple other things before we go to the first major area of the game, which is a pain in the ass. Like most of the game. Most of this game is a pain in the ass, let me tell you. But if we go ahead and go over this way... sorry, not that way. This way. There's a guy standing up there, see? And he's going to attack us on sight. So he has very light armor, but he's also got a katana. And he hits hard. But if you can beat him, you get his sword, and it's a good sword. But if we just go ahead and grab this, that's an ember, which you need to go back into human form. So you need to use an ember to return to human form after you die. Or you have to kill a boss, and good luck, killing a boss in that state. At least in this game, they don't reduce your maximum health. But you do have to be in ember form if you want to summon any help or engage in co-op, I think. So... But this dude also dodges stuff, so you gotta be careful. So, if you're feeling lucky, you can try to take this dude out. See, he has a lot of health, though. Run away, run away. Where is he? Ah, he's right there. Yeah, this dude can absolutely kill you in like 2 or 3 hits. So do be careful. But this is another reason to pick Pyromancer as your starting class. Just keep throwing fireballs. So look, I got an Uchigatana. But do I have the stats to use it yet? Probably not. No. Because you need a 16 in dexterity, so most starting classes won't be able to use this right away. But look under additional effects, that red symbol with the 30 next to it, that's bleed buildup. So if you hit them enough times, they take bleed damage. It's awesome. It's very helpful. So there you have it. Just took out that fucking guy. I still have all my fire bombs, so I can use those anytime I want, because now I can just buy more. Maybe I'll save those for the second boss, we'll see. I did try to do an items-only build in this game, and it's too hard for me. Oh, okay, so we just got a better shield, too. So that's why it's important to explore. So see how this has much... It's slightly heavier, but has much higher guard absorption. But the special skill is still a parry, so when I hit L2, I get this. Now, in this game, they added weapon skills. This is Warcry on the axe. So here's the thing. If I two-hand this... Okay, yeah, if I have nothing in the offhand, or if I'm two-handing this, I use Warcry. That temporarily boosts my damage with the axe. So that's another helpful thing. Always look at what your weapon skills are, and you press L2 to activate them. There are some shields you can get that have no skill, which means it'll use the weapon skill instead. I tend to use those, because I'm not good at parrying. Parrying is stupid. Parrying should never be a requirement in a game, because it's just too hard to pull off. You need crazy reflexes. Now, I do have a habit of defeating really strong enemies only to get my ass kicked by weaker ones. That happens to me constantly in this game. Maybe it's just overconfidence, I don't know. And there's a key you can buy that will let you go up in that tower back there, but I'm not going to buy that yet. I don't think I can afford it anyways. So there we go.
Ash prayed them to. Very well, then take.
So pyromancy damage scales with the power of your pyromancy flame. Oh, actually, maybe you can't upgrade it in this one. In this one, it might be based on your intelligence and faith stats. I only have 9 dexterity. Okay. So vitality is what's going to boost my equipment load. Endurance is going to boost my stamina. So, and then vigor is my health. So I want a little more health, and I want a little more equipment load just in case I get some better armor that I want to put on.
Farewell, Ashen want me.
Now, what I like about Dark Souls 1 is that you can level up at any bonfire. Unfortunately, so, let me think. In Dark Souls and Elden Ring, you can level up in any of these checkpoints, but in Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, you have to go back to the hub area and talk to an NPC to level up. Okay, so now, next step is, now we're going to travel to the High Wall. So, yeah, Ludex or Iudex Gundur, whatever his name is, that's the first boss. So now we're going to go to the High Wall of Lothric, and this is where the game gets even fucking harder. So, you thought the first boss was bad, well, the second boss can cause fucking frostbite. Alright. So hopefully you now know how to cheese that first boss, and hopefully you can beat him now. Just be a cheap asshole, basically. Just keep hitting him with spells, and don't let him get near you. And don't try to block or parry, just dodge when appropriate, and don't go into heavy encumbrance, because then you'll dodge too slowly and you'll get hit. So, just be mindful of that. And another thing that is worth knowing is that if you do not have enough strength to equip a particular weapon, you can still two-hand it if you have at least half of the strength required. I believe that's still the amount. Now, there's 2 ways you can go, but it doesn't really matter which way. They both suck. They both suck. But I'm just gonna go this way first, because why not? Oh, yeah, oh, the dogs. Oh, God. Fucking dogs. The dogs are absolutely the worst enemy in this game. Come to think of it, they're the worst enemy in every FromSoft game. And that's why this area is a pain in the ass, and that's why having an extra healing spell is not a bad idea. Watch. See, I actually prefer Dark Souls 1 and 2 because each spell had its own number of uses. And this one, they all share the same mana pool, which which I find very annoying. And see how some enemies aren't that hard to kill if you just keep swinging, you can stun lock them. Actually, that's also a good tip if you ever decide to do PvP. Just keep swinging and try to stun lock them so they can't dodge or block or parry. But another tip for PvP, sometimes you'll see a guy with a sword and shield, and as soon as you go to hit him, he'll just, I don't know how they're able to do it so fast, but some people, they're able to put away the shield and immediately parry with their hand instead. So watch out for those assholes. Okay, that second Titanite shard is certainly useful, like an upgrade. So here's the thing, if you kill that guy before he transforms, you're good, but you only get the good item drop if you let him transform, and he turns into this weird snake thing just like that first boss. The good news is that if you do let him transform and you have fire bombs or a pyromancy spell, they are very weak to fire, so just keep that in mind too. Yeah, so basically I'm gonna have to come back here now and let him transform to get his item drop. And one thing I didn't find out until a very recent playthrough was just the fact that you can... There's a couple things you can do over here. I hear somebody, but I don't see him. Oh. Here you are. Okay, so... what can I do over here? Right, I can't open this door yet. Okay. So that's why you typically want to just go the other way to start with, because there's nothing you can do over here yet. And that's a shortcut you can unlock later, but... And like I said, it's really annoying that you have to go back to the shrine if you want to level up, or do pretty much, or buy anything, or upgrade anything. Like, basically nothing can be done from the bonfires anymore. Oh, I didn't even light this. Okay. So the game totally would have sent me all the way back to the shrine if I had died just now. Okay. Or it would have put me to the start of the area. Alright, so the lantern dude... when he screams, then it activates the other enemies, so be mindful of that. Try to hit him first so he doesn't scream. That is a dragon corpse. So... nope. None of that. None of that. I mean, look, I know these guys are defenseless and weak, but I need the souls, so there's no shame in whacking them. Okay, and that's how you get this item here. Gold pine resin you can apply to your weapon for electric damage, which can be helpful against stronger enemies. But remember, it's a one-time use. So... I'm gonna go back up here. See, I used to be one of those immature Dark Souls players who just used to brag about how good I was at these games. And, oh, they're not that hard, you're just not good at it. I don't do that anymore. That's just mean. Alright. Binoculars. Okay. And binoculars you can use to look at things in the distance. There is a dragon near here. If you try to shoot him with arrows, then he'll fly away. And you won't be able to kill him, but you probably can't kill him anyways, because he's a pain in the ass. Alright. That's why I went back up there, but the binoculars aren't that helpful, really. I usually just end up selling them. Alright. And it's already getting kind of late, because I had to... Yep. My first stream got cut short when the computer restarted, so I deleted it and started over. And then I had to install a bunch of fucking updates. I'm convinced that Windows Update is what screwed up my computer today. I call them fucking updates because that's what they do. They fuck up your computer. Yeah, a whole lot of good your shield does you against a fireball, jackass. Now there's a dragon. Yeah, just let the dragon roast him for you. First he does up there, then he does down here. And if you shoot him with arrows, he will run away. And don't get hit by the flame. Run through here as fast as you can. There. So the raw gem, when you imbue an item with the raw attribute, it removes the parameter bonuses, but then maximizes, like basically it does more damage, but takes away the parameter bonuses. So base damage goes up. So raw is definitely good. Hang on. Oops. Hang on. Just trying to make an adjustment here. Sorry. I didn't realize how loud the game is. Hopefully I didn't ruin everything. Okay. Hang on. Oh, and these are the settings I'm using, by the way. Okay. Okay, I hate the fucking scaling on this computer. Okay. So that's my one complaint about this NVIDIA card that I'm using, is just the way that it, sometimes the scaling is off, and sometimes when you try to do a dual monitor setup like I have, it just doesn't want to fucking do it. Now this dude, you might want to just avoid this dude. I strongly suggest that you don't fight this guy. Or if you do, try to get the dragon to roast him. No, of course the dragon doesn't hit him. Yep. Of course, the dragon only tries to attack when I walk past there. So just be very weary of that guy. He's kind of like the Black Knight of the game. Ah, I got him roasted. Ha Now, if you try to go up here, you will absolutely get roasted. So So you want to trick him into blowing the fire up there. Yeah, sorry if you can't hear me. This is fucking loud all of a sudden. I don't know why they made that dragon so fucking loud. Where do I... Oh. Alright. Fucking loud-ass dragon, Jesus. Oops. The only problem is when you have 3 weapons in the same hand, just make sure you switch to the right one. And can I open this? No. That's not openable yet. Okay. Okay. Alright, good. Yeah. This is one enemy who absolutely just announces his presence. Yeah, there we go. I just like to roll through things. Don't mind me. Okay. More fire bombs. Alright, I don't know when I'm gonna end up using those, but they're good to have. So where's that second checkpoint? Is it here? Okay. This was the goal. Here is your second checkpoint. Yeah, and look at that dragon over there. If I had a bow and arrow, I could shoot him, but you can't kill him, though. Like in the first game, there's that Hellkite dragon on the bridge. If you have enough poison arrows, you could totally poison him from a distance and just watch him die. Although sometimes he flies away. This dude, no. This dude will start flying away as soon as you start shooting him. And I don't have enough dexterity to use that bow yet. I might want to boost dexterity to get some better weapons. But at least you have fast travel unlocked right from the beginning, which is not the case in the first game. But the second game it is. I don't know. I don't know about you, but Dark Souls 2 is still my favorite one. Judge me. Did I get another ring? No. Okay. But I did get 4 of these. How much do I get? 800. Alright. So. See, that also weighs 5.5 pounds. Well, then I might as well reinforce my axe. Why not, right? I can infuse it with raw, so this is what I was talking about. The base damage goes up, but you lose the parameter bonus completely. So, it really depends on what your stats are, I guess. You know, if you are a strength build, and you find like a dexterity-based weapon that you want to use, but you don't get the parameter bonuses, then you could turn it to raw. I mean, so there are situations where that could be helpful, but depends on the item. Alright. Is there anything else I want to buy from her? I don't think so. You don't want that. You only want this if you're going to do co-op. And I mean, the torch is helpful for helping you see, and you can use it as a weapon, but... See, the other thing is that in this game you cannot upgrade armor, which is really annoying. Yeah, so if you save up 20,000 souls, you can buy the key that will let you fully explore this area here, but I don't really need to do that yet. And I don't have anything I need to sell. Oh, except maybe that. Oh, I did get another armor set from that guy I killed. Yeah, so this is his starting armor. You can see how spellcaster armor tends to give better bonuses to elements, but not physical. So, but you can see the stuff that I just picked up off of that dude is worthless. Okay. Yeah, the katana dude. Now, I could buy that other piece of armor, but I don't want to. I'd rather give myself more stat points. So.
Very well, then take.
I would like to boost my dexterity, though, so I can use more weapons.
Farewell, Ashen Me.
Alright. Leonard isn't here yet, and neither is the other girl. Okay. There are NPCs that show up here at certain points. Alright. So let's see if I can beat the second boss, and then I'm done. Yeah, it's already 10 o'clock here, unfortunately. So, it's a very short stream. Maybe I'll go till like 10:30, huh? We'll see. Alright. So just jump back to where I was. My axe has been upgraded. I got some points in dexterity, so I can maybe use the bow or... Well, I need 14 for the bow and 16 for the katana. Alright. Oh, I'm over here already. Okay. Oh. Did not know you were there. You cheap bastard. Yeah, these dudes are really annoying. A lot of range, too. That's the only thing with spellcasters is you better still have some melee capabilities because you're not going to be able to cast spells when they're standing right next to you. Throwing knives. Worthless. Mailbreaker is like a rapier. Or maybe it's rapier. I never thought of that before. I always call it a rapier. Huh. Oh. Or maybe it's a rapier? Rapier? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce things. Okay, so there's a guy in that cell over there. I need to get a key to let him out. He's worth letting out. He's not going to hurt you. This door you can't open until later in the game, and you don't want to go down there. Not yeah, only go down there if you have a death wish or if you're like good at the game. Okay, now... Oh. Oh. I missed something. Alright, cool. I know, I've done this area like 50 fucking times. You'd think I'd remember shit. I don't. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm gonna let the dude up here transform. See? Look what he turns into. Isn't that lovely? But he's weak to fire. Oh. There you go. So you only get the Titanite shard if you let him transform. Oh, 2 Titanite shards and an Ember. Alright. But as you can see, now I have no healing items. This is not good. Hey, you. Come here, little bug. Hey, get back here. Yeah. Always kill these when you find them. They do respawn, though. If it runs off a cliff and dies, then it'll come back, then extend your rest. But you can only get them once, though. Alright. And so one thing that annoys me about this whole area, too, is that the XP payouts are garbage here. Or rather, you know, the soul payouts. See, one of the things I prefer about the Neo games is that money and XP are separate currencies. Oh, so sometimes you get lucky and you get an extra flask after you kill enemies. That happens sometimes. Okay. So there is some other stuff I can do over here, but I kind of don't feel like it. Somebody's chasing me, isn't he? Yeah, see that big dude? I don't want to fight him right now. He sucks. Oh, you're still alive. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. Fucking die, asshole. This is like the one advantage to playing as a character with high faith at the start. You can get that extra healing spell for when you inevitably run out of flasks. Yeah, that dude is a pain in the ass to fight, and he doesn't drop anything, so fuck him. So, that is a summoning sign. If you're in Ember form, which means, you know, you didn't die or you died and then used an Ember, then there are helpers you can summon. Yeah, he's just one of the many helpers you can summon in this game. And they're just kind of in random spots too, so be aware of that. And these guys are a pain in the ass, but if you can sneak up on them, which I couldn't. Yeah. So in the first game, the Black Knights were a complete pain in the ass. In this game, it's these fucking guys. See, they can't chase you in here because there's an NPC in here. Okay, so if I talk to her, which I have to, she gives you the banner. So after you beat the second boss, you need to raise the banner to get picked up to be brought to the next area. Oh, looks like my buddy's getting destroyed here. And see, the thing that was cool in the first game is you could use humanity to get health back. Now, if you keep farming these guys, you can get every piece of their armor set. And it is a pretty good armor set. Now, unfortunately, I have, like, 0 chance of winning this next fight in my current state, but we'll just see what happens. Early dancer. I don't know how to do that. And I wouldn't want to. So I'm going to try to take out this boss, and then I'm going to stop. Oh, cool. Oh, if you kill her, you can fight the dancer early. Oh. Got it. I don't want to kill her, though. Oh, but because I killed the master guy, now I can summon him. Cool. No, no way I'm trying to fight the dancer now. I'm not good enough to do that. Alright. So I'm going to come over here, and he's going to jump in. And this dude has frostbite, so be careful. So this stream is meant more for people who are struggling with the game or just don't know what to do in the beginning. Of course, then again, I'm not really that good at it either. Okay. I just want to see how much damage that does. Yeah, it doesn't do that much damage to him. Alright. Unfortunately, as you summon more helpers, the bosses get more... bosses get more health when you summon more help. But as long as they can keep pulling aggro, I should be able to get a couple hits in here. But I don't expect to survive this. See, I'm just instinctively holding the block button, and of course the damage is still coming through. Yeah, that was a sucker punch. Alright, yeah, as long as my two buddies can pull aggro, I might be able to pull this off. Yeah, I died because his foot touched me when he jumped in the other direction, yeah. Okay. That's Dark Souls for you. Sometimes if any part of their body touches any part of your body, it just counts as a hit. Alright. Unfortunately, I'm way the fuck back here, so... yeah, at this point you just run past everything, because why not? Can I drop down safely from here? That I don't know. Oh, wait. Sure I can. Oh, you do get reduced health when you're not in Ember form. Aw, oh, come on. No, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Nope. Oh, the other dude didn't get summoned. Wonderful. Alright. It just, you gotta love when you press the buttons and the game is just like, no, you didn't. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. Yeah. Will we ever get a non-glitchy From Software game? Probably not. Alright, I pressed the button and it didn't summon him before. So, it's fine. There we go. Alright. Alright. Well, he'll follow me when I go in here. And as usual, make sure you grab your stuff as fast as humanly possible, because the game will try to screw you. He does have a tendency to jump away when you're trying to throw fireballs at him. Hold still so I can roast you. Alright, good. Alright, there he is. So since I didn't use any of the black fire bombs against the first boss, I had them for the second boss. And plus I've got more fire bombs. So that's another tip for people who are struggling, like, use fire bombs. They're great. Alright. Gonna raise the banner. That's why you have to talk to that woman. Alright, I'm gonna go back to town here. I'm gonna use my souls so I don't lose them, and then I might try to do that thing that my buddy here just mentioned. So let's see, what do we got? Save that, use that. I guess I could have used the pine resin too. Oh well. Alright.
Just what?
Okay. Yeah, so you can't upgrade the Pyromancy Flame. The damage is dependent on your faith and intelligence. Got it. Okay. And I don't want to infuse this with raw because then it loses the parameter bonuses. Alright. I also didn't get the key to get the thief out. I gotta find that. Alright.
Very well, then taken.
Alright. What do I want? I want to use the katana and the bow, so I'm gonna go ahead and just boost my dexterity.
Farewell,
Alright.
Ashen, may the
With the bow, I can try to shoot that stupid dragon and get him to leave.
Ashen one.
Alright. Alright, so I'm going to travel back to here. Okay, I can't remember. Is he going to fly away or is he going to try to kill me? Let's find out. Oh yeah, look, no, I was wrong. Nope. I forgot that he could do that. Oh, I was totally wrong before. Oh no, he doesn't fly away. He fucking roasts your ass. Okay. So, disregard what I said earlier. So now I'm not sure if that room will be open or not. Let's see. Alright. So, the door might be closed until later. Let's find out. Oh, it's open. Alright. Ah, you can't follow me. Okay, so I'm being told that if I kill her, which I don't want to do, but...
What is wrong? Are you...
Yeah, but then she's mean to you. She's like...
Are you not a Lord Seeker? Is
Yeah.
this not the calling?
She's like, the fuck are you doing here?
What on earth? Whatever is this about? What on earth?
Okay, I killed her.
My
Now what
dear
happens?
Prince.
Basin of Vows. Oh, well then. I never knew you could do this. I guess I'm not the expert I thought I was. Uh-oh. That's why I spent all of my souls. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to beat this, though. I'll try to cheese it, of course, but... Gotcha. Oh, the Lion Knight will banish himself. Okay. So you've seen me cheese the first two bosses. This one is a little harder to cheese. Yeah, so look how much health I lost on a successful block. This shield sucks. So if you do want to do a sword and shield build, definitely try to find a shield that does 100% physical absorption. Yeah, okay. So I'm not good enough to do this. Okay, so if you do successfully beat this thing early, though, can you climb the ladder? Or do you still have to wait till later? That's what I want to know. Oh. Cool. Alright. So it's a big skip, I guess. Maybe I gotta go watch some more speedrunning videos. Okay. Oh, okay. So you can climb the ladder, but then you still can't do other things. Okay. So, well, there we have. That's my Dark Souls 3 stream. That is the last episode of JRPG July. So starting Tuesday, I'm going to be doing adventure games all through August, regardless of genre. So that's a chance to play any Metroidvanias or JRPGs that I missed in previous months, and also games that don't fit into either of those categories, so I could play Uncharted, Tomb Raider, etc. Good night. Thanks for chatting. Alright. See ya. If I can get the computer to work.